Good afternoon, everybody. My guest today on 22 Panels is Rafael Scavone from Brazil. So we're adding a new continent. No, wait, I can't remember. No, we're not adding a new continent because I think I had a couple of Chilean cartoonists. Yeah, but we're adding a new country. I think you're the first
Okay.
Brazilian that I've talked to. Well,
It's
I
an
mean,
honor.
first Brazilian that I've talked to in Brazil, because we were just talking about my friend Chris Cicada, and she's from Brazil but living in Milwaukee. So, it doesn't feel like I just, we're checking countries off the list. We've been to half of Europe, we've been to Australia, we've been to Japan, now Brazil. So, Rafael, how are you doing? Thanks for joining
I'm
me.
good. I'm good. Thank you for
Oh,
having me. I'm good. I'm great.
absolutely. I have spent last night and this morning reading all sorts of your work. Not quite as much as
Oh,
I had intended, because as I just mentioned, I have grandkids running around. But I got through Hailstone, both the original and the first issue of
oh,
the new. I read Funny Creek this morning, and I'm halfway through Sliced, and I'm
oh.
loving like uh kind of the range of what you write. It's always fun when people don't do just like that one thing, but kind of mess around. So, Hailstone's the new one. Your second Hailstone. What's the subtitle on this
Yeah,
Hailstone?
the devil actually it's Devil's Luck.
Devil's Look. Right.
It's a Hailstone story.
Right.
It's a kind of spin-off because Devil's Luck
It's
because Hailstone was conceived to be like a playground
right.
for her stories. So
Okay.
this was the idea since the first volume, uh,
Okay.
the one in the Civil War, and so the Devil's Luck is like it's a spin-off.
Yeah.
It's the same universe, but it's a spin-off.
Yeah, but it's more Depression era, right?
Yeah, it's in
Yeah,
depression.
yeah. So you jump
Yeah,
60 years forward, same town, similar
yeah.
issues and
The only
weirdness going on.
thing. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. The only rule I have for Hailstone is like is work with genre and horror and the
Right.
location and Hailstone, and that's it. This is
Okay.
my rule. So
So
and the stories must be like a standalone story.
right.
That's it.
So I'm fascinated that a Brazilian writer chose Montana as the site of your horror universe. How did that happen? That's
Yeah, that's was
I mean, don't get
was
me wrong.
was
I've been to Montana. There are some horrific. There's some
yeah.
cool things in.
I
I mean,
never been to
Missoula's
Montana.
kind of cool. Missoula's kind of cool,
Oh
but
yeah.
but the wide open spaces in the United States where there's lots of guns and not many people.
Yeah, I never been to Montana, but
Okay,
the idea came from the first film because I need an how can I say a snowbound town,
right,
isolated town,
right,
and I want to have like a Native American presence,
hmm
and I want it to not to be in the area of the Civil War battles. So
You
I
want to be
needed to
away
be
from. You need to
keep it
be out
away.
west,
Yeah,
west and
that's the
north.
idea.
Yeah, no, that I like it.
Yeah, to not mix. I'm a historian by I study history in university, but
Okay,
I don't want to have like history heavy in the story
okay,
in the story I wrote. It's just a background because
okay.
I want to work with the characters and the story itself, but not a history with age.
Right,
That's
right, right.
the idea. So
No,
the cues for Montana was more like what's the cool landscape and the mountains, the snow, and the Native American. I love the Blackfoot and that kind of how can I say like Indians and a horse and like it's more a
right,
visual concept than
right.
because I never been to Montana. I've been to several places in the U.S. but not Montana.
Well, I mean,
So,
it's
but
not the
I
first
hope to
place that
visit.
most people go.
Yeah, but
It's not. I mean,
I
it's
love to visit.
I mean, I like I have to be careful because I have friends in Montana, so I don't like
Mm.
to bash it. Um,
Yeah.
wherever my friends are in Montana is cool,
Yeah.
and it's very
But
pretty.
it's like a lot of things in US is huge.
Oh yeah,
That's the thing.
I mean, it's like
It's
my
kind of the same in Brazil. Is everything is
right.
like a huge.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
travel to Europe, is so everything's so
yeah, yeah.
close, small, but the scale is so different in
No,
US and Brazil as well. So
I mean, my wife is from South Dakota, which is on one level not far from
yeah,
Montana, and on another
yeah,
level very far from Montana, depending on how
yeah.
you measure such things. But she always laughs because like people who aren't from South Dakota know about the Black Hills, Deadwood,
No,
and like Mount Rushmore, which are all
yeah.
on the western side of the state. So like she'll say she's from South Dakota, and they'll be like, "Oh, so you must go to Mount Rushmore all the time." And she's like, "That's like 9 hours from where I grew up."
It's so far. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Scale is something. Scale is
Right.
something. Yeah, yeah,
Um, so I like so you're a historian by by
yeah.
by do you have a particular specialty?
Yeah, I work a bit with archaeology here in
Okay.
Brazil. I work with prehistoric archaeology and historical archaeology as well.
Okay.
But my because I started work with comics professionally about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because before that, I worked with archaeology and then I worked with design for internet. I travel a bit
Right.
working for that. And then when I come back to my hometown where I live now in Porto Alegre, in south of Brazil, close to Argentina and Uruguay, I met an old friend that we used to make comic in my teens, like fanzines, and he's Rafael Albuquerque. You know
Okay.
Albuquerque?
Yep. I
Um,
do.
we are old friends, so we start to hang out again. And he said something to me that really marked was something like that I had something unsolved with comics because I used to make comics. I can draw as well, so comics was my first medium because I think I started to read comics, so really into comics when I was a teen. But I I went to study and I stopped to read comics and making comics. But when I met Rafa again, that was like a and I start to work with him like an assistant, art assistant, and then I work with as editor, as translator, as letter. I made all the process, like all the process of making comics, and at the same time I will start writing, scripting, and then I start writing comics. So I always love to write, so it was quite natural. I use all the skills I learned, especially layouting because I used to make a lot of layouts for him,
Right.
for a lot of comics he did, and so was natural for me. But that was my background. I love
Right.
history. I read a lot of things of history, but I used to work with more archaeology stuff.
Okay.
In Brazil, is not so. It's something we need to how can I say we need to work more with archaeology here because as the US is a really how can I say is a really new country. It's not new. We know there's like
Right.
the native people, but the country as a country is so new, and archaeology is something starting to get bigger now. But I love
Right.
it.
Right.
I hope to have time my
In your future.
in
Once
my
your
future, yeah.
toddler's not as much of a
To
toddler.
yeah, exactly. To come back a bit to archaeology because I love it. It's one of my passions.
I love that circle.
Yeah, it's a
And
circle.
well, but also, the history shows. I mean, I've only read the three comics recently, and maybe only th the three comics period. I'd have to like dig through your catalog. I read so many comics, I can't always
Oh
remember them
yeah, it's a
all.
lot.
I'm pretty certain that I read Sliced years ago, but I don't remember how it ends,
Sliced.
so I'm
Oh,
only halfway through it.
it came 2 years ago,
Yeah.
maybe.
No, I'm
Yeah,
pretty certain I read it
yeah.
when it came out. But I
Oh,
don't.
awesome.
But I'm rereading it today and going, kind of remember this.
Oh, cool, cool.
Um,
Thanks.
because that's just the again, like, oh, and as I'm yes, I've definitely read your hit girl. Um,
Oh, girl, yeah. That
you
was
know,
fun.
uh, I mean,
Yeah.
this. I've read Study in Emerald.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
probably read your Wonder Woman work.
Oh,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, that was my first comic. That was the first comic I published in the US.
okay.
That was, yeah, that's cool.
So
Wow, it seems so 10 years ago, I think. Yeah,
yeah, no, this is just
2016.
I always laugh when I under prepare, like, and I apologize. I under prepare today. It's the
Oh,
holidays. My
no, no,
kids
it's
are,
it's okay.
you know, and
It's okay.
then I like pull up the list of stuff. Oh, I know that, and I know that, and I know that.
Oh, that's it. It's cool. That's cool.
Um, but like in the work of yours that I know, you can feel that love for history. You know,
Oh, thanks.
you don't as you pointed out, you don't like you make it about the characters. You don't make it about the history and whatnot. But at the same time, you get the period right. I mean, it really feels like you've got that archaeologist, anthropologist eye to it.
Thank you.
Even doing I read what's the TV one? The Funny Creek,
If you are Funny Creek, yeah,
Funny Creek this
Funny
morning.
Creek,
Well,
yeah,
and like you managed to both capture 50s US and like the the
yeah,
the early cartoon era of TV in a really kind
yeah.
of interesting way, you know. Um that I really appreciated.
Thanks.
So like
Thank you.
this is all my way of saying when you said history, it like clicked in my head like a puzzle. Oh, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, history. I think history is fascinating because it's like we used to. I had a teacher. He used to say that history is like the mother of all science. Much less is not a science per se, but
Right.
it's like everything. When you start to study a subject like glass, probably the first chapter of a book will be like the history of glass.
Hmm.
Because you need to know where things come from. So this is the cool thing about history. It gives you a cool background to play with a lot of subjects. So
I
this
mean,
is a thing I
my
love it.
autistic brain that likes to bring everything together, like the thing that I want is the history book that has more science in it, the history book that has more math in it, the history book that,
Yeah,
because I think that sometimes by siloing so much of our learning, you like we're missing the big pictures. You,
yeah, yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, there's something significant about the fact that Beethoven and Franklin were on Earth at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? And
yeah,
that's not something that people think about very often is, oh, Ninth
yeah.
Symphony, Civil or Revolutionary War. I
I,
mean,
I,
never
I,
mind thinking about history's countries to countries, which we often don't do. It's like nobody, even with my crazy brain, half the time I can't tell you what's happening, what was happening elsewhere in the world during major times in the United States. And it's like,
yeah, yeah,
but all of that matters. It
yeah.
all interplays. There's a reason why this follow. Yeah, and
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
that's also why
if you.
storytelling is so cool.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you. It's not about comics, but it's a bit about
Oh, we talk
archaeology.
about everything.
There's
So
yeah. So there's a book. There's a book I read like 2 years ago. It's the Down of Everything. I don't know if you
yes,
heard about this book.
yes,
Oh
I
wow,
love that book.
I
I've read it
love
like
it. I
three
love it.
times, and
Yeah.
and found out about it from another comic book guy because Dave Chisholm was all over that when it came
Oh,
out.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That book's amazing. It's
Oh,
amazing.
oh,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I mean, aside from having me rethink so many things that I knew to be true or knew to be true,
yeah,
big air quotes for those listening at home. Um, it, it,
yeah,
it, again, it's the interplay that we so often. I mean, and this is where I'm aware that I come from the most myopic culture in the world. I'm a white American male of European descent. We're really good at not believing, or at least not thinking very hard about whether or not things that aren't directly in our line of descent may have influenced us in any
yeah,
way.
yeah,
How many Americans think rock and roll started with white people?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Things that I think I have a rule. I think almost always work. It's like the older you get, if you were not with more doubts than certainty, you are getting things wrong.
Yeah, you're not paying
Because
attention.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
exactly. This is the thing.
Yes.
This is the thing.
Yes. And
Um,
this is I mean, I forget if I think it was off air that I was mentioning that I think you're the first person I've talked to in Brazil. We've talked to people
yeah, yes,
in
yeah.
Chile.
Beside Chris, yeah,
Right, right. One of the things I love about the number of different people that I've gotten to talk to and the number of people I read, more and more, it's like I want to read stuff that's outside of my perspective. But what's also great about getting to talk to people who have lived those different lives is like it's great to see the things that are very much the same. There's a lot of humanity that is humanity no matter where you are. But then there are other things that
yeah,
is like mind blowing to see how just a little bit different of a perspective goes, oh,
yeah,
now
yeah,
I get it.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's a. I think it's a shame. It's a shame. One thing about Western culture. I put myself inside this same culture, even as a Latino, because in Brazil we're very cultured. With
right,
we have a lot of influence from the U.S. and Europe. So I grew up reading comics like Marvel,
right,
DC, and comics from Brazil as well and Europe. But we have the variety of things we can understand and learn from the world today with internet and
right,
no boundaries are so great, and but we are narrowing.
right.
We're like narrate our vision. This is something that anguished me,
Yeah.
because yeah, I went to something curious, because I went to 5 years before the pandemic. I went to the Amazon. I never been to Amazon, but I went to the
Yeah.
Amazon with my wife, and we spent like 1 month traveling in Amazon. And it's a
Oh,
so different country, because I'm from the
right,
south of Brazil. It's so Europe stuff.
right, right,
And when I arrive in the Amazon, and it's wow, it's goosebumps, because whoa, it's amazing. It's
right.
another world, it's so different. Everything is different. Not the accent, but it's a different country. It's a different world.
No,
So
I mean, this is obviously a European lens on it, but my family has uh, like a number of us watch a movie together every week, or we watch it
mm,
and then we get together and we talk about it.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and like a month
All
ago,
together?
well, we talk. A number of us get together on Zoom and talk about it. We watch it
Oh,
separately, but then get
okay.
together.
And God, that's great.
Right. But recent, probably a month, 2 months ago, we did a Gere, the Wrath of God, which is it's a Werner
Mm,
Herzog
oh,
movie,
yeah, yeah, Herzog.
but it
Oh,
but it
okay.
was but it was filmed
That's
in the Amazon.
movies. Yeah, this movie was awesome.
And exactly, what you were just describing. I mean, what I loved about this movie more than anything was the fact that it wasn't overproduced at all. So you had this real feeling of Amazon wilderness, which as much
Yeah,
as on one level, it's like, oh, wilderness has similarities, also it has, a very unique feel to it. And like, so
yeah,
when you're talking
it's
about the goosebumps, I haven't been there, but I still got the goosebumps a little bit just from thinking back
yeah,
to watching a movie that had gone out of its way uh, not to put too much of a shine on it, I guess is what I'm looking.
yeah.
Movies
Okay,
sometimes movies they sometimes like they try to put the absolute best version out. I mean, for that matter,
yeah,
I even compared it. We watched African Queen recently too, and while that was shot on location in Africa, it never, it felt like John Huston was trying much harder to make it seem like a movie, whereas Herzog was trying to make it seem like you were there.
yeah. Like more like a documentary. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. That sequence in the boat with the monkey,
yeah.
it's
Oh.
it's wow.
So yeah, no,
I
I'm
should I want to rewatch that again. Then now you
it's really
you
good.
gave me it's good, it's good, good.
It's weird because I think it was filmed in South America where most of the actors spoke, because I think it was filmed mostly in Mexico and Peru. So most of the actors spoke either Spanish or um
Yeah,
some
or their
some
native
native language,
language.
because
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
And uh Kinski was speaking German, but I want to say the first language, or no, I guess German was the first language, but had to be dubbed into German.
yeah,
And
yeah,
now and now it's most available in Spanish, even though it was dubbed in
yeah,
and you read it and you have to read the English.
yeah.
It's like I don't even know how this all worked.
Yeah, yeah. Herzog is a really interesting filmmaker.
He is. He is.
I know I can remember the name of that movie. He used like a huge boat, and he yeah it's record
The one
in
that's in the tree?
yeah the one
That's a
they
Gire. No,
no
different one?
it's a yeah it's a different one like a huge boat like a modern boat. I remember
Uh
the name. But he's a really interesting filmmaker. Have you
he
seen The
is.
Cave of Forgotten Dreams?
I haven't.
Oh yeah, you should. This is it's more recent from Herzog, and he got exclusive access
2010.
to. Yeah, he had exclusive access to a cave in southern France.
Okay.
The cave was still like
Oh,
for 1,000 years, and
with
it's like
no, see, there are some of us who believe that this cave is the first comic in the world.
yeah. Oh, this was about to tell you. You should see it's amazing. And when he shows the paintings with the light effect, with the flame effect, you understand like it's like a motion, like a animation. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that it was made like 50,000 years ago.
Yeah. No,
It's
that just went on my
yeah.
list. Uh,
It's linked with Dawn of Everything, was we're
Yeah.
talking about, yeah.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
all over the place.
Okay.
At Brazilian comic, I was talking to Eric Reynolds from Fantagraphics yesterday, and
Hmm.
Brazilian comics came up because they've done a decent number of Brazilian translations, but he but they were actually kind of late in the game. He talked about he'd recently visited for the first time and just was like
Ah,
blown away with how
he like it?
the yes, but the comic culture and like so they're hoping to do more.
I have something. I have something to show him because this
Well,
this book I just launched here in Brazil.
Incident and Antares.
Is like the Antares. Antares is the name of a city. Incident is like the Antares
Right.
incident. and it's like the first zombie. It's like the first zombie story in Brazil.
Oh,
It's awesome. It's a literary adaptation from a very famous writer in Brazil. His name is Érico Veríssimo. And this book, the book, the written book, it was launched like 50 years ago. Is a critique to the dictatorship here in Brazil, and we adapted to comics this
oh,
last year.
nice,
And I
nice.
wanted to publish it in the US, and I was thinking
Oh,
about Pentagram. So because
well,
they publish a lot of things, so
yeah,
just
no, no,
link it.
no, yeah, no.
I hope
I
you
will.
see it because it's
I,
amazing.
I see it right there, and like send me a message. I have
Yeah, yeah.
like I have no claimed influence or anything like that, but
No, okay, but
anything looks cool. I'm always willing to say, hey, I think this looks cool. Um, but yeah, no, and
but
I
we are
like a
talking
good historical
about Brazil.
comic. Yeah, well, and actually the reason it came up with Eric yesterday is on their publishing schedule right now is their third book with oh, I'm drawing a blank on his name, but I'm certain I'll have it soon. Give me just a second. The
It's
marvels of the internet. I can do research while I'm
yeah, yeah.
uh the um blah blah blah. This is great radio, isn't it?
It's an author you are trying to remember.
Audio, yeah, it's an audio podcast.
Ah, ah, okay.
Theodora's Letters and
But
His Slaved Woman's Fight for Family and Freedom by Marcelo Dasalete.
Marcelo de Salete. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
He's great. Yeah.
That's
He's also a
coming out.
historian.
Yeah.
He's also a
Well,
historian. Yeah, he
all
works.
all three of his books that Fantagraphics have done have been
Yeah,
histories.
yeah,
So,
yeah. He works most of Black history, like
right.
African Brazilian history, and
Hmm.
he's a really cool guy. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's very. He has a really unique style, art style as well.
Yes.
So, but
No,
I love his book too.
I have read his first two books, that the Angola
Uh,
Janga
Angola
Kingdom of
Janga,
the
I have
Runaway
here.
Slaves, and
Yeah,
what was the other one? Of course, it's not coming up right away.
it's remember, but yeah, I have this book here somewhere. Yeah, but he's
Run
awesome.
for it.
He's really
Run
good.
for it. The stories of slaves who fought for
Run
their
for
freedom.
it. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, no. So like I talk to me about first the Brazilian comic scene because it's clearly so much deeper than like every time I turn around, I'm learning a little bit more about it. You know, because there was an again, Fantagraphics did their anthology. What was it, Braba? I think.
Braba. Yeah, yeah. With Rafael Grampa. Yeah,
Right.
he won.
Put
He's one of the
together.
organizers. Yeah,
Yes.
he's from my town. He's from the
Oh,
same
okay.
town. Yeah,
Okay.
all the Rafaels, the Grandpa,
All the
Albuquerque,
Rafaels.
me, all the Rafaels are from here. Yeah, it's weird.
So if you're looking
Uh,
for Rafael, we go to which town?
yeah, Porto Alegre. The name is Porto Alegre. It's like Happy Harbor. Is that's it?
Um,
But Brazil has a really cool story with comics because there's a lot of claim for the first published comic, and a lot of people say he's Brazilian because there's a guy named Angelo de Agostini. He was a Brazilian back in the beginning of the 19th century, and he used to make comics, but like political one, one panel, two
right.
panels. Uh, he probably was the first comic maker in Brazil,
Okay.
and we have a great tradition with political comics, especially dictatorship, and we also have some hits like real best-selling comics. I don't know if you heard about Monica's Gang.
I don't think so.
Monica's Gang, you can research that in the internet. Monica's Gang is a phenomenon in Brazil. It's from an artist named Mauricio de Souza, and it's a kind of
Okay.
it's a kids comic like in
Right.
a neighborhood, and it's really old. They're more than 50 years now,
Yeah.
and it sells a lot. It sells a lot. It sells like
If
sometimes they made issues like sell millions of books. There are some years it's sold more than Batman. You know, it's yeah,
I mean, I believe
it's
it.
a
I
phenomenon.
believe it.
It's a
It
and
I mean,
it's
it definitely
huge.
has that just a glance. I'm like it's reminding me
It,
of
it Mauricio de Souza is he's from Japanese ascendance, so his style is a bit of Japanese. You know,
yeah.
Astro Boy, more of
Yeah,
Astro Boy. So
it's
he
got a little bit of Astro Boy and a little bit of like Peanuts, Dennis the Menace, and you put those
yeah
things together, and yeah,
yeah
that's gonna sell. As
yeah
long as it's
itself.
not dumb. All it has to be is like mildly intelligent and funny, and that's gonna sell.
Yeah it sells a lot. It's a phenomenon in
Yeah,
Brazil. And
yeah.
the guy now is really old. Mauricio de Souza, he's I think he has 19 something, almost 100 years old, and but he's still alive, and and his books are sell a lot. So he works
Nice.
with themes. You know, it's like there's a lot of comics like graphic novels. It's not just the Monica's Gang, but it's huge. It's huge. There are movies. There are a lot of things, and they're publishing U.S. They're publishing Europe, in Japan as well. They're publishing Japan.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
great.
mean, I have such a appreciation for the fact that Europe and Japan will publish anything good. It's only in the U.S. that we seem to not like to have to translate things.
Oh yeah, but it's getting better now.
It's getting
You
much better. It's
yeah
getting much better.
yeah.
But
I know
again,
mangais. I
it
know
was it was
the
it,
Japanese.
it was one of the jokes that I was making with Eric yesterday, and one of the reasons that I love Fantagraphics is like the United States and Great Britain. So, like, the two English speaking countries have also historically been the most, if it's not ours, it can't possibly be important cultures in the world. So English stuff is translated into everything, but finding good literature or good comics from other languages is much harder for
Yeah
me than it like again like
yeah
if you live in and again I view this as a cultural flaw on our part, not like, oh, we've got such great culture. I mean, there are people who will say that we have such great culture, why would we translate from French? They should just read Shakespeare.
yeah yeah
Don't
yeah
get me wrong, Shakespeare's great, but so is Proust.
yeah. It is great.
you know um
So,
so yeah, no, that's fascinating.
you don't have you don't have
Uh,
the habits to watch movies with subtitle as well. Yeah.
I do some.
Oh, that's
I'm,
great.
I mean, my
That's,
biggest problem is that I don't really have the habit to watch movies, period.
oh, okay.
I have such a
Okay.
tendency to listen to the movie while reading a comic. So
Oh,
if I have to read the movie while I'm watching the movie and it means I can't read a
you, you,
comic,
you,
I have
you
to
wait. You are reading the comic and watching in listen to movie at the same
often,
time?
yes, often,
Wow.
yes.
How you do that?
uh,
Multitask, man.
a little bit,
Wow.
and a little bit. There just aren't that many movies that actually steal my attention that way.
Oh,
Does that
okay.
make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah, yeah, it makes, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I have less trouble. I have less trouble stopping and reading if it like we did Rashomon this week. It was my pick.
Oh,
I was in a
oh,
Rashomon
awesome,
mood, and
awesome,
I have no
awesome.
problem stopping and reading subtitles for Rashomon.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
This is the thing because in
zero
Brazil,
problem. There was zero problem stopping and reading subtitles for Aguirre because I mean, the biggest problem reading the subtitles was sometimes I was just so lost in the visuals, period. It's like, oh
yeah,
yeah, I got to read the words too.
yeah.
Um, but I
In
also
Brazil
think
was
that
was really, really, really common to have subtitles because you often doesn't have the translation. We,
right,
so I grew up reading subtitles. So
right,
reading subtitles. So it's really, really common for us.
get used
Now,
to it.
now we have more. Yeah, I get used to that.
Yeah. No, my grandma went to a lot of opera, so I think she got
Ah,
so used to the subtitles on stage that she had no problem
yeah,
with them
yeah,
on. And I wish I did more opera because I love opera. But we're
yeah. It's
just going
cool.
off on we're just going off on really random stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's nice. Love it. So, but have you? But there's a movie. There is a movie I watched 2 days ago. No, yeah, it's Begonia, Begonia,
Begonia?
Begonia. The movie from the Begonia. It's a movie with
Hmm.
Emma Watts. Have
Yeah,
you
I don't
watched
think
it?
I've seen this. No.
Oh, this movie is great. Uh, Take a
Yeah,
look.
this
You like it? It's cool. It's cool.
it is
It's
well.
weird. Begonia, Begonia. Yeah,
Da, 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 da.
it's quite
See,
new actually.
it's the same guy it's the more recent movie from I saw Poor Things
Oh
recently.
yeah,
Same
yeah, awesome.
director.
Love it.
Okay.
Same director. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's. I
okay.
think he's Greek.
Yeah.
He's Greek. Yeah, it's really good.
He's yeah, I'm gonna have to well, I mean that was already kind of on my list because I still haven't fully decided what I think of Poor Things. I had so many things I liked and so many things that I was uncomfortable with that I had to go read the
Yeah.
book. And
Oh yeah.
and
Did you
and
read it?
I don't know if reading the book made it more or less uncomfortable or made me like it more or less. It still got me thinking
It-
about it.
really? I didn't read the book. It's a cool book.
It is a cool book, but some of the things that were different, it's like I don't know if this makes it better or worse. Because like
Oh,
the biggest rightful like easy knock on Poor Things is like, okay, yeah, but she's essentially five and being
it's a
used
Frankenstein.
as what? It is Frankenstein,
It's
but
very
still,
Frankenstein. Yeah.
but still, from a
But yeah,
female
she has five
perspective,
years old.
she's essentially
Yeah.
5 years old, and Mark Ruffalo's using her as
Yeah.
um
It's a heavy
so
movie, but yeah.
but
Yeah.
and like in the book it well, I'm not really spoiling anything because
Oh,
we're a comics
I don't
podcast,
mind.
so we're a comics podcast, so I don't care if I spoil a 25,
Yeah,
30 year
I don't
old book
mind. I don't
for
mind the spoiler.
right. Well, yeah,
But
if you minded the spoilers, but I meant for the audience. I don't care.
oh,
It's
okay,
too
sorry,
old.
sorry.
Yeah, but
It's the same
but with
approach in the
with,
book.
no, well, with the book, very similar approach, except that like the main part of the book and most of what got filmed is the novel from or the story from her husband's point of view,
Ah,
like the final husband. But then there's an
yeah.
addendum on that, which is her writing after he died, and essentially just like blasting it all. She's, she was the doctor. She was the like. All of this is fantasy. Is this really what he wanted our life to be?
Ah,
you
wow.
know, essentially making him out to be like only a little bit more than a bum, kind of a lovable bum, but like kind of disappointed in him because it's like, oh, he could have been a doctor, but as soon as we had money, he just decided to putz around and be rich.
Oh, I went to read it now. Cool.
It's good, but it like now I have this whole other set of questions.
Yeah, yeah, it's cool.
Um,
I really like it when I finish reading a book or watch a movie, and I kept thinking and
yeah.
chewing that. This for me,
Hmm.
it's a thing that defines if it's good or not. You know?
And that's definitely the biggest thing that the poor things definitely did for me is like
Yeah,
we watched it like a month ago. First of all, I wound up immediately writing to a friend of mine that I knew would have A, it seemed like her sort of thing. B, I knew that she was going to have a much more feminist perspective and like
yeah,
it's definitely the type of thing that's like, okay, I'm not saying I'm not allowed to have an opinion, but before I dig in too deep on my opinion, I want to go, I'm an affluent white male, and let's hear from
yeah,
somebody else.
yeah, yeah. And she like it?
She was the one that immediately went, this part was icky, but I kind of also see what you're talking about. Maybe I'll have to revisit it. I haven't read the book, and we
Got it.
haven't we haven't written again, like because I wanted to read the book and I've been chewing on it. So like I'll probably write again at some point in the not so distant future because I've like I might watch the movie again, because I watched the movie once and decided, okay, I got to read the book before I watch it again because I wanted to and actually, I was both reading and listening to the book. So I finished listening to the book, and I want to finish actually reading the book
Oh,
because I'm really kind of again, I think overall it's brilliant, and I think overall I'm okay with the fact that it was written by an old white man. But it certainly would be easier to say that it was brilliant if it was written by anybody but an old white man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got
Does
it.
that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah, yeah. It does. Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Just because intent and experience matters. I actually a
yeah,
great conversation I had with a friend of mine once, like about why, he's like every time you talk about appropriation, they'll like turn it around and go, "Oh, well, so but you can write a white male character and I can't write," and they're like, "Yeah, because see, I had to figure out how white males work to survive. You didn't have to figure out how black males worked to survive.
yeah, yeah. I got it.
It was part of
Yeah,
my survival to figure out.
yeah,
It's a requirement.
yeah, yeah.
That's kind of that right there is the privilege.
Have you watched one battle after another?
It's on my list. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, yeah.
It's
There's a
on my
really
list.
interesting theory about that. Where,
Yeah.
when you watch that, we can talk because
No, I'll send
there's
you an email.
something about politics. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something about Obama there. You
Yeah.
probably will figure out. Yeah,
Yeah.
keep it in
Well, I
mind
mean,
when you watch that.
I mean, US politics, even, I mean, nobody who listens to this show doesn't know I'm a bleeding heart liberal, but even among my favorite US politicians, like, I mean, one of the reasons that like it's so hard to be an American right now is like uh, Obama and Biden have done some great things, but they also didn't shut down Guantanamo. They also didn't
Yeah,
shut down the drone programs. They left these things in place that are now, I mean, they kept using these things, hopefully more thoughtfully than their predecessors and their successors, but like there are certain have you seen Eye in the Sky?
eye in the sky.
It's
It came.
another one we
It,
watched. It's another one we watched recently. It's got
it's a new one.
2015 actually. So it's older. It's Helen Mirren and Alan Rickman. Um,
I don't think so.
and
Yeah,
essentially,
Eye in the Sky
it's
for
a
me just came that band, Alan Parsons, the band.
okay.
Yeah, this is the I'm the eye
So
in the
so
sky.
so essentially, the entire movie is about one drone strike. And like all of the deliberation that goes into it from the legal side, from the tactical side,
Oh,
everything. And like the biggest thing that I came away with from is, oh my God, drone strikes are terrorism. They're terrorism.
yeah.
They just are.
Wow.
There isn't like by
Yeah.
the end of the movie, and it wasn't even what everybody, because it was another one we watched as a family. It wasn't what everybody came away with, but what I came away with is there is no acceptable drone strike. That's what I've
Yeah.
been convinced. There is no acceptable drone strike.
Yeah. 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 Actually, the international law is something so messy by now
Right.
with what's going on. So yeah,
Um,
there's a
So
there's
yeah.
a movie about drone strikes, but I think it was with Ethan Hawke. That one he was like the
Maybe.
pilot, and in all the movies like entire in the cockpit of a like the cockpit is stay in the ground when
Right.
the drone pilot and there's I don't know if this is this movie because all the things like about when he had to he's the pilot and there's his colleague is like the woman's she's like the artillery she's like the one to pull the trigger and they had to make a
Right.
decision
Yeah, I mean
and
those two people. I mean,
those two people in the same place one the pilot
in
the other
yeah, in Eye in the Sky, you had those two people, but you also had like their colonel. You had the person who had to figure out what the
and
collateral
there's a
damage was.
child. There's a child.
Yes.
I saw this movie. I saw the movie. Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I saw the movie. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. The,
But
the
yeah.
decision. Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. It's
Oh.
great. Yeah,
um. But yeah. No. But again, like, and I wasn't a fan of them before, but like having watched it, I'm like, oh no, there's no such thing as a
yeah, yeah.
as a
And
terrorist.
Obama was he used a lot of drone,
He did. He did.
but yeah, yeah. I think he
And
was champion.
like, I mean, one of the things that uh a number of his staffers have their own media organization now. Um and one of the things that I love is when stuff like this comes up, particularly the ones that were involved in national security, et cetera, will be the first ones to say, look, I know that you're going to jump into the comments about Obama and drones, and you have every right to. Mistakes were made. Some of us were telling him that they were being made at the time. Some of us weren't, but can see it now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No, our hands are not clean.
yeah. It's
And,
it's
and
it's, it's
like,
so
I think that that's so rare in global politics, period, to have anybody willing to say, I made a mistake, that
yeah, yeah, yeah,
it just
yeah.
lends
It's
so much more credence to their thoughtfulness.
yeah. There's a I don't know if you know a writer named Jonathan Katz.
Yes,
Have you read Gangsters of Capitalism?
I have. I
Oh,
have. And
I
I
love.
also I also I also subscribe to Jonathan's newsletter, The
Oh
Racket.
yeah, me too. Me too. The
Um,
Racket. Yeah.
uh, do you know, and this is along the same lines, Spencer Ackerman.
No, no,
Spencer
no, no.
Ackerman,
Spencer
uh,
Ackerman.
he does
Ackerman. Maybe.
his
But
his
Spencer Ackerman.
his newsletter is Forever Wars,
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I know
and
this letter.
and
I didn't associate the name.
his book was War on Terror.
Yeah,
Um, Uh,
I didn't read the book, but
oh,
I know
the
the
book
Forever
is
Wars.
I mean, Forever Wars is outstanding and must read. Um, so is War on Terror, but this is where we pull it back to comics. Spencer also, and these are must read, wrote Waller versus Wildstorm at DC
Oh,
and
awesome!
10 issues of Iron Man at Marvel, including during the Doom War,
Wow,
where he very much um based a lot of things on reporting that he's done.
wow,
He was on the team at the Guardian that that handled the Snowden papers, so he's got a Pulitzer Prize. Um, he yeah he's covered some shit.
wow! Yeah, can you
For
imagine?
that
Whoa,
matter, his next book is going to be required reading, but not easy reading.
it's
Um,
announced already.
yeah, his next book is going to be oh God, what's it called? I'll just pull up his most recent newsletter. It'll say down at the bottom. Oh, his most recent newsletter is today, so I'll have something to read soon. Uh, the torture and deliverance of Majid Khan, who was
Ah,
in Guantanamo
yeah,
for 10 or 15 years. Um,
yeah.
yeah, no, the last time he was on 22 Panels, he described writing Tony Stark and his essential essentially deal with the devil in terms of like how to oppose doom in one world under doom, the whole
Ah,
a, as his relaxing time when he took time off from writing the torture and deliverance and he was kind of sad that he didn't have a comic to write anymore to get
yeah.
away from the harrowing writing.
It's interesting thing. I think Tom King was the former CIA
Yeah,
agent
Tom King
as
was in the
well.
CIA.
In fact, for CIA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tom King was in both Afghanistan and
ah,
Iraq. In fact,
Iraq,
if you've ever read his Sheriff of Babylon,
yeah, yeah.
um, there's a lot of auto bio there. For that matter, Tom will be the first one to admit that even his superhero comics are a lot of him working through his own mental health stuff. Um,
Wow.
we have I'm friends with a group called Psychocomicology. They actually use comics in their psychology practice. And while we're on hiatus right now because they bought a comic shop, and as it turns out, that takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
We've been reading through Tom King's work in order and discussing it from a psychological perspective.
That's awesome.
Which, when I
Cool.
told him this the last time I saw him, he's like, "That sounds fantastic. I hope you don't mind if I never ever listen."
Yeah. Safer for him to do that.
um,
Oh,
because yeah, it's I think comics is a great. I mean, comics is the best medium. Period.
yeah,
But
I agree. I must agree. Not because my work it's so many possibilities with so little.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. Um, but like because it's the best medium. Period. It's that much more of a great medium in terms of really looking at different levels of a story, bringing in the history, bringing in the psychological side. And this
yeah,
is well, I'll bring it back to your book. um I can't speak as much with the new one because we're only an issue in, so it's kind of a teaser.
yeah,
But in the first Hailstone,
yeah.
um I really appreciated how, I mean, it was a horror story, and primarily we're trying to figure out, okay, these people are getting lost, etc. But like, kind of the underlying theme is, oh, this sheriff lost somebody.
Yeah,
You know, they're acting from this point of grief, from this point of trauma. Um, as well as having the history of, oh, those savage Indians, and oh, sure, you're starving to death, but the war effort, you know,
yeah,
I mean, all of those layers all in one story is something that's just, when a movie tries to do that, people will complain that not enough, that things aren't followed through on enough, that we don't get,
yeah,
oh, you tease this, but we don't really get to learn about it. Oh, you tease that, but um in a novel you can kind of do it, but you can't. There's something about having the visual element that,
that's the thing. I think you
particularly
can't.
emotion, comes
Yeah,
through. Empathy works better with some level of visuals. Um for that matter, in the funny
correct.
Creek. Yeah. I mean, I'm certain that some people would complain that they figured out that something happened
Yeah,
to the kid early on. It's kind of
yeah,
telegraphed. But, I mean, I've always hated that complaint to begin with, because not everything should need to be a surprise to be good.
yeah,
Um, and I thought it was brilliantly laid out as, oh, we're getting, and where I got, at the risk of ruining it a little bit for some people listening, where I was killed was when it turned out that she waited for him.
yeah.
The when it turned out that she didn't, after treating him so badly, and leading him to that tragic happening, um rather than going to the contest with the other guy like she told him she was going to do, she continued waiting on the bench for him, which just made it that much more tragic. That like, for whatever reason, she felt the need to behave this way, and then, even before she knew there was reason to regret it, she was regretting it. You
The
know.
Creek is a very controversial book. People, there are people
Well, I mean,
who
it's like,
it's
if
okay.
you go into it thinking it's a kid's book, I mean, I could
It
see,
doesn't.
yeah, I
Yeah,
could see
also,
somebody like, oh, I think that I'm going to read this with, oh, wait a minute. I was reading this with my 7-year-old Rafael.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's kind of
uh,
like, I still haven't forgiven George Lucas for Revenge of the Sith. I know a lot of people think it's the best of the prequel trilogy, and maybe it
yeah,
is, but my thing is, my son was 5 when it came out,
yeah, yeah.
and he loved
Yeah,
Jar Jar and young Anakin and Phantom Menace. He loved Attack of the Clones, and I didn't want him to watch Revenge of the Sith. It's
yeah.
like you took the two most childlike Star Wars movies, and you follow it with the first PG-13 Star Wars movie,
Yeah,
and like a hard PG-13, not a like borderline PG-13. You
yeah,
see Anakin burning. It's like the only
yeah,
gore in all of Star Wars. It belonged in Indiana Jones. You know how there's a scene in every Indiana Jones movies where you have to cover your eyes?
yeah,
It
yeah,
was that scene.
yeah. But uh, that said about the video, this is the key. And what other things it's about the your partner that adventure, because of course because reading you are, it's active. né? You are not the patient. The magic of comics is between us,
Right.
the thing. So uh, um, super cool meaning with visual effects, with sound effects. So this is the comics for me. So
Yeah.
I use all my years. And Hailstone, for example, the first volume overall is a for the US like complex that was built in the US war. The US, the business weapons in the US.
Right.
I didn't make it historic here, but all that factory stuff, all the things, the gore, it's in the US. So to do that because some readers will get it, some don't, but it works. This is the magic thing. You can things, and some readers in some one, but that's great. That's and this is a thing because you can reread it, you get different things, like
Right.
as we
Right.
said before, it's like it's stuck in your mind. Why that? It doesn't make sense,
Right.
but if you read it, you make sense,
Oh,
or maybe
oh,
one.
no,
So
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's comics are good comics because
oh yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
every medium, not
yeah.
all
There's
parts are equal,
yeah,
but good comics, one of the things that makes them to me greater than all other storytelling mediums is that they're infinitely rereadable. You never reach a point where you're
yeah,
not going to
yeah,
see another layer.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Because
I
I
agree. I
mean, because
agree.
eventually you start seeing layers that even the creators didn't see. But then you
Yeah,
say
yeah.
them. I mean,
It, it happens
the
a
number of
lot.
times, the number of times I've said to a creator, like, when you did this, and they're like, I had no idea that I'd done that, but now that I see it, I
Yeah,
can't unsee it.
it happens a lot. One of the things I think it's so hard when you're writing a pitch for a publisher. Usually, you have to fit an elevator pitch,
Right,
like that short pitch, like one sentence or two sentence
right,
line explaining the book. And sometimes, most of the times, the reader get it much better than you
right,
after the book is read,
right,
the reader get it all. I can fit this book in one line much better than me.
right,
This is the thing.
right.
Yeah, I would love to have a time machine to go in the future and get a read that and give me
You know,
a
I
elevator
always
pitch and
laugh
I'll
because what I'll often ask people to do with their book is give me the front counter pitch. You're working the comic shop, you're selling your book. How do you do it? And the number of creators that like stumble over how to do that
oh,
is just
so hard,
insane
man. It's really
because
hard.
yeah. Well, it's not an easy thing to do. I mean, I've
It's
worked comic
it's
shops and like I develop pitches for the comics that I love because
yeah,
to I mean, do you read Saga? Do,
Saga. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
yeah.
the first volumes. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
So
love
I
it.
mean, yeah. But I mean, I can do it because I spent a long time figuring, I mean, I've
Oh,
sent hundreds of copies of Saga, but like to manage to distill that into, okay, it's a Romeo and Juliet love story uh, 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 against the backdrop of intergalactic civil war, except that it's not really that at all. It's more a family coming of age story and with weird aliens and bounty hunters and payphones.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's it's it's
um,
it's it's hard. There's a thing when you usually are writing something. When you finish that, when you finish writing, sometimes when the comic are ready, you read it. This book is about that.
right,
Because sometimes you don't even know what this book's about. This is
right,
because I think you are so into that
Right.
think about details and characters and lines, and you are not taking you don't have the eye in the sky, as you don't have
Right.
the to see the big picture. But when
Right.
it's ready, you can it's about that, and the readers get it much better than us, no
Yeah.
doubt, no
I mean,
doubt.
hopefully, when we're
Yeah.
doing our jobs properly. Um, all right. We're starting to run up on, I can kind of hear my grandkids
Oh,
getting
okay. Yeah.
excited in the background. So we're gonna get to there are two questions that I like to close with. Um,
Shit.
the the first is um I have been doing this podcast for going on 5 years now. Um,
Wow.
and I'm blown away every day at just how different my life has become. How many surreal conversations and experiences I get to have because I just do a podcast in comics. The number of times that I get to do something that if you told me when I was 15, hey, you're going to do this when you're 45, or even if you told me when I was 35, hey, this is going to be part of your life 10 years from now, I would have gone, fuck you, you're insane. No way. But I found that that's common for people in comics. All of us have that surreal experience where it's like somehow we we have these things these that happen or multiple things that happen that it's like, "Oh my God, how did I get to live this life?" So I've started asking people to share one of your crazy things that you got to do because you work in comics, whether it's meeting somebody or a conversation or seeing something come to life, whatever. But something that like you still kind of pinch yourself to go, oh my God, that happened.
Oh, well, one things sometimes I had to it's a really really small thing, but sometimes I need to research things on the internet. I really need a anonymous computer because something like beheading people and something weird,
Right.
because I never never thought I need to research that, and I had a cool opportunities to meet people, and to work with people I always admired. I have the opportunity to work with Roger Cruz. I don't know if you know the
Oh,
artist.
I
Yeah,
do.
I grew up
I mean, I
reading
haven't I haven't
his
met
X-Men
Howard Cruz,
books.
but oh,
Roger Cruz, he's Brazilian. He he
okay.
he he, he used to draw. He was one of the first Brazilians to draw X-Men back in the 90s. So I grew up reading his books, and I had the opportunity to work with him in a book called Red Tag. It come out of Comixology. It's set in Brazil. You may like it.
Okay. No, I
It's
have Red
Red
Tag.
Tag.
I
Red
have it
Tag.
loaded
Yeah.
on my I have it loaded on
Oh,
my
yeah. Give it a read. It's a cool
it
thriller, political thriller.
I was working on getting to it, but I also played with my grandkids this morning. I
Oh, yeah,
mean,
yeah. No, yeah. First things first.
hi.
And I had the opportunity to work with him, with Rafa. I always admire his work, and I met so many cool people. I think one of the cool things about comics, usually the creators are so cool people. They are
Yeah.
great. They you know.
Oh,
So this is
I am. I
it's
mean, I
one
have a
thing I
theory. I mean, obviously, we've had a handful of bad actors, particularly in recent years. We've heard about them,
yeah
but I have a theory on why there are so many good people, like genuinely just kind people in comics, and it's because you either make comics as a team
yeah
with not enough money to go around, which means that if you don't enjoy working together, you won't do it again.
yeah yeah
There's almost nobody in comics that like makes enough money to have people be willing
yeah
to work with them if they're a jerk.
yeah
Um, or if you're an independent cartoonist, you generally have to do a lot of hand selling of your comics, whether it's at
Yeah.
cons or to the comic shops or whatnot. So again, like actually being kind is somewhat necessary to succeed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's my
I
theory.
agree. Yeah, I agree. I met so many. I met Frank Quietly. He's so
Oh,
nice. He's
I've
great.
heard good things. I haven't met him yet,
Oh,
but I've heard
he's
great
amazing.
things.
And Mark Miller, he's great.
Yeah.
He's so fun. Yeah, he's funny. He's a funny guy. And I met Grant Morrison.
Oh,
And
oh,
yeah, I met. I went to a master class DC Comics master class for writing
okay.
in 2018 in New York, and he was one of the teachers. Was so cool. And but Neil Adams still stole the show because he used to be he was a funny guy,
Because he was Neil
and so
Adams.
yeah, because he was Neil Adams, but he was funny.
I
He
mean,
was funny guy.
I don't mean that in any negative way. He stole the show
No,
because
no,
he's
yeah,
Neil
no,
Adams.
yeah, he's Neil Adams. Yeah, yeah. But
um,
that's the cool thing. I think the cool thing about comics is people who work with comics are so nice, and
yeah.
I think the readers can get it too. It's so it takes a lot of work to do that. So I think different from a movie. I don't mean that movies are easy to make, but usually you have more money in movies, you have more people, a lot of people, and
Well, I
comics,
think you have
as you said.
so much money involved that people start believing that they can be jerks.
Yeah. There's this factor too.
I mean,
I
it
think
doesn't
because
always work. Doesn't
yeah,
always work. But again, you're way more likely to have a situation where people don't feel like they can walk away.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's a thing.
There just aren't
But
enough comics where like they'll finish the comic because it looks bad for them if they don't, but it'll be like, yeah, we're not working again.
yeah, but I think that's it. I think comics. You as you said, you need to love it to do that to make
Yeah.
it
Yeah, yeah.
and to read
I
it
mean,
as
it's a
well. So
shame. It's such a great art form that there needs to be more money in it.
yeah,
I think more people should be making comics. B, I wish we lived in a world where, and it's ironic because this is actually like theoretically this is how capitalism is supposed to work. It just never seems to actually work that way. I
yeah,
wish that we lived in a world where the people that did the jobs that nobody else wants, or the people that did the jobs that the most people actually get enjoyment out of, whatnot, actually got paid like it. But
yeah,
instead, it seems like no matter how good you are at your job, if you're an artist, nobody thinks you deserve money. And no matter how good you are at your job and how little they want to do your job, if you're like a nurse's assistant or a garbage man or any number of jobs that most people would never, ever, ever want to do, they also don't pay you well. And it's like,
yeah.
that's not how capitalism is supposed to work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Capitalism is a
It's it's like,
concept
have you
almost
read Adam
forgotten.
Smith? Have you
Yeah,
read Adam
exactly.
Smith?
Adam Smith would be shocked if it,
He would
yeah,
be very upset with this.
yeah, be shocked. Yeah, yeah.
All right. My last question. This is my favorite question to ask everybody. Tell me something you love, preferably a comic, but we don't have rules. Preferably storytelling, but again with the rules. But something that you love that not
Not
enough.
comic,
No, no, preferably a comic,
a
but
comic.
preferably a comic, but like we don't have rules. So if you want to pick something else, I don't care. But something
Um,
that you love,
huh?
let me finish, that not enough people around you have experienced and you want them to so you have more people to talk about it with.
Mm, let me get it's a comic, especially a comic, something I
A
love.
comic would be fantastic.
Well, a comic I love a lot. It's Asterios Polyp.
Oh, oh,
It's a master class in comics.
Mazzucchelli.
Yeah, Mazzucchelli. It's a master class in comics.
everything he
It's
does is a master class in comics. But
yeah,
yes, uh
and I think it's not. Of course, he's a famous author, but I think most people doesn't
but
know this
no,
book. You
he's
know?
I mean it's I can't remember if it was this one or City of Glass that Joe Illidge said for the same question, but I don't know if you know who Joe Illidge is. Joe Illidge was one of the editors at Milestone and then DC, and he's
No,
done
no,
some
no,
writing as
no,
well.
no, no.
Good, great guy. Um, but no, he gave me one of the greatest quotes I've had on my show. He said, "Yeah, David Mazzucchelli shows up every decade or so, drops the mic, and goes away again."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that book was something was for me is a master class in comics because
Oh
there's
my God.
almost everything you can play with comics is in
Well,
that book.
and we
You
were just
know?
talking about like a great comic you can read over and over and over and over again,
Yeah.
and it's fresh and new, and you feel I've probably read that book 30 times, and every time I get something different and new and fresh out of it. I love that
It's
book.
awesome. But
Such such a
I
good
also
call.
love I'm also a huge fan of Bill Watterson. I love Calvin
Oh,
and Hobbes.
oh,
I have all the books. I read and reread that.
also
I'm waiting
also
my
a
son to
ne-
get old to read
a
that.
a
So, you
a
know,
a near perfect comic,
yeah,
Calvin and
yeah.
Hobbes.
And I also love his posture of not l- um, sell it, not
Yeah.
sell the brand
Well,
and the
well,
characters.
here's what I'll tell you, because he also didn't sell any of the art.
Yeah.
He's given away
It's
pages. He's given away pages, but he hasn't sold any of the art.
This is
So
awesome.
the con you want to go to, the con you want to even you want to get invited because then maybe you won't have to pay to get there and you're coming from Brazil. But even if you don't get invited, the con that you want to go to is Comics Crossroads Columbus, which is
Columbus comes
Jeff Smith,
comics.
who did
Oh yeah.
Bone. It's his con. He was
Oh
one of the founders. Um, and it's in conjunction with the Billy Ireland Cartoon Art Museum at Ohio State University, which, among other things, has every page of Calvin and Hobbes that Bill hasn't given away.
wow. Wow. I love to see it.
So
Wow.
just
Wow.
going to Columbus and saying, I'd like to see Calvin and
Yeah,
Hobbes,
I will.
they'll bring it
Next
to the
time.
reading room.
Well,
You know,
this
you got to
definitely
go
a
to the
destiny
middle of
next time.
Ohio. You'll have to go to the middle of
Yeah.
Ohio, but
I definitely want to go there. Wow.
yeah,
Love
no, no,
I love watching work. Yeah. Cool.
it is the it is
Comics
the
Cross.
it is the largest collection of comic art in the United States. Is at the Billy
Wow.
Ireland Museum. In part because they actually started, you know, Milt Caniff,
Yeah.
Terry and the Pirates, Steve Canyon.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's an Ohio State alum too. So they started their collection when he gave them all of his papers and the stuff he had.
Wow.
So that's how they started, and they've got all the stuff from Watterson. They've got a lot of stuff from Jeff Smith, but because when you start with that, you start actually one of my favorite things that they have, and they're still working on cataloging it almost 20 years later. Have you ever heard of a guy named Bill Blackbeard?
You Blackbird.
Bill
No.
Black
No.
Bill Blackbeard was actually like a comics historian who, when they started converting all old newspapers to microfilm and therefore throwing them out from the libraries, he went, "Oh no, comics are in color. They won't show up on microfilm the way they should." So he sent teams of people all across the country to libraries that were converting their stuff to microfilm to collect the comics.
He is a wise
And
guy.
he had his entire um I'm gonna let me. I'm gonna. They have the Billy Ireland still has a digital exhibit for this, so let me drop it into the chat because you'll just love it.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, definitely.
but but so he put together like he collected filled his entire condo, but then when he lost his lease, he had to find a place for it all, and he wanted it to stay together. And it was the Billy Ireland that was able to keep it all together. So they took it, and one day, like 25, 30 years ago, 8 semi trucks pulled up to the museum filled with comic strips
Wow. Wow. That's awesome.
that that they are still cataloging. They find things that they never knew existed on almost a weekly basis. Um, because I mean, there was an era where before I think we might. I can't hear you. No, did your battery die? Oh no, I can't hear you. Uh,
Or not?
oh, now I can. But maybe
Ah,
your battery's dying, so we should wrap it up. But check this out, because yeah, in the era before photographs in newspapers, there were also comics, not just for the comics page, but for like the front page, for the arts page, for the sports pages. Um, in the online exhibit includes some Windsor McKay front page art.
wow.
You know,
Awesome.
not Nemo front page.
Wow. Wow. So I will
So
definitely check it.
yeah, check it out. And like I said, that's the con that I recommend to everybody and anybody. This is
I
you
will.
love
Definitely.
comics, and the other upside is it's free.
Oh, great.
Uh, uh,
What is
You
free
know,
in
I mean,
America?
you
Yeah.
have to get there and pay for like lodging, but like it's free to the public,
Oh,
which
that's
is
awesome.
just
Wow.
crazy. And it takes
Oh,
part all. I mean, they kind of modeled it after European cons, so it actually takes place across town. There are parts that are at the Billy Ireland. There are parts that are at um, like the keynote addresses are at the Arts Center Auditorium. There's another keynote address at the Art Museum. They generally have like a mangaka come and do a speech at the art school, and then like the artist alley and more programming takes place at the public library. So
wow.
like 5 different
Wow.
buildings across town.
It's awesome.
Comics
Wow.
Comics Crossroads
Is it like
Columbus.
Luca, like the Luca convention, something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So
I'll definitely check it in.
uh,
I don't know when I'll be able to go back to
well,
USA
no,
now.
I mean
With
and
it's not safe
yeah, no, no, no,
for us.
no.
But
Yeah, no,
yeah,
you might wait until we have a new president.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Actually, they had an issue with that this year. They had somebody that they thought was going to be able to come in because he had a French passport, but he got stopped in Paris and not allowed to get on the plane because
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of Brazilians who used to attend to the conventions this year,
yeah,
just skip it. Went
yeah,
to Europe or Japan, something like that,
yeah.
because it's not safe for us. I don't want to to end in El Salvador
No,
or something
I
like
mean, I
that.
mean, I mean,
So
seriously, I mean, when a British cartoonist backpacking winds up in a detention center for 2 weeks, I certainly
yeah,
wouldn't want to be brown. I mean, that was a
yeah,
young blonde girl.
yeah. I saw it. Yeah,
That was a
Girl,
young,
yeah,
I mean, I hate to say it that way, but in the United States, like generally, young blonde girls don't have trouble like that. So
yeah,
if we're harassing young blonde girls like that, I certainly wouldn't want to be brown.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, but
I'm
I
sorry.
hope,
I'm
I hope,
sorry. I
I hope things
apologize for my
change.
entire nation.
No, no, you don't need to apologize. I know nations are completely different thing than people. I know that.
They are, but
Yeah,
like I'd like
uh,
my nation to be cool enough that you could come
yeah,
back.
yeah. I will, I will. Things will
Yeah, yeah,
improve. I hope
yeah.
so.
And we'll have to talk again because I feel like we went all
Yeah,
over
yeah.
the place and nowhere. So
We,
there's
we, we may
lots more
try
to
with
talk.
Eduardo when you
Yeah.
have time.
Well,
Maybe
yeah. Well,
maybe as you said, I think Devil's Luck will be finishing around May.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
five issues.
Let's shoot
Yeah,
for like May
we
or
try.
June. Yeah, yeah.
Eduardo's a cool
Sounds good
guy.
to me. Yeah.
He's a
No, he
cool
seems
chap.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
and I know Chris would love to join us. It
Oh,
just wound up
awesome. Be great.
not being a
Yeah,
good morning for her. So,
yeah. I hope
Rafael,
every.
thank you so much. And
Thank you for having me.
and for 22 panels, we will see everybody on the next. Hey, oh my God. Okay, good.